Hello, beautiful souls. How are you today? This is going to be a quicker video just on kind of what I mean when I say shadow work and attachment and things like that. So I've learned through this journey on my own experience that growing up in the matrix, which is what we call Earth, 3D Earth, those that know it's a gangster planet. It's very dense, it's very heavy, it's a lot of work to be here. It's not very fun. Just in the course of growing up on this planet, quite literally, by eating the food that is provided for us, being in the overall atmospheric environment that we live in, the water that we drink, lots of things are actually, engineered to not be so good for our bodies. Energetically speaking, there's a lot of factors in place that calcifies our pineal gland. It causes us weakness, areas of weakness throughout our energy field. And so if you are trying to connect spiritually, through meditation, to your higher self, to your guides, to, download messages, have communion with source creator, talk to your guardian angels, whatever it is, you're going to have a really, really hard time just because we all acquire blockages to that ability. There are ways that you can go about removing the blockages. The easiest, most effective way is energy clearing. And this is different from like Reiki work, but it's similar. That's the closest thing I can tell you to kind of compare it to for a visual. But this is spiritual energy. And so light beings like myself that have been healed of the blockages, healed of the cords, the attachments, the curses, the hexes, all those things. Our frequency, our energy, our power has been unlimited now. It's been able to jump up really high. So that gives us healing ability. Source creator has given us healing ability to help remove from other energy beings these blockages. So when we go through life, this is a prime example of how these happen. Because you're thinking in a matrix way, like, so no one attached anything to you. This is not the same thing. This is an energy attachment that happens in the course of a low vibrational feeling or emotion. So what's a low vibration emotion? Fear, pain, anxiety, heartache, heartbreak, disappointment, love unreceived, that kind of stuff. Okay, so when you think about that context, I know I only speak for myself. This is my own testament. I had a lot. I had over 8,000 cords and attachments. I'm about to be 50, so I had 50 years of shit, basically. So a lot of it I know came from unreceived love, disappointment, heartache, just sadness, got my feelings hurt a lot, disappointment, that kind of stuff. So every time you go through that, your soul, it'll kind of fracture. And so you have this really beautiful white light of divine energy. And over time, you get attachments that block that energy, and they're fed by negative energy because they're born out of a negative experience. And unless you clear them, they stay with you. Now, sometimes they're just happenstance, you just have a bad day. Sometimes they're deliberate. People in your surroundings, either virtually or physically, are sending negative thoughts to you, and they attach because you have an area of weakness. So let's say you're not very self-confident in a certain aspect of your life. And there are people in your life that exploit that about you. That attaches a negative cord, connected to negative energy and attachment. So lots of times you go through and you think, for myself anyway, I think, gosh, I really don't fit in with my family. Like I used to always say I was a reverse black sheep because I was the only one that went to college. I was the only one that left home. I was the only one that really saw things the way that I saw them. I always felt like I just really didn't fit in, loved them, cared about them, that kind of stuff. But I just didn't fit in. I just was never comfortable. I felt very oppressed. Couldn't wait to, like, I wanted to visit, and then a couple days go by and I want to get out. Like that's just not it's just not like the warm and fuzzy family feeling you would think, right? And so for a long time I thought, well, that's just who I am. That's just who we are. That's just the kind of family we are. And that's true to an extent. Then I went through my spiritual journey and I started to, really get serious about going through my shadow work and dealing with all those emotions that I had boxed up and put on the shelf, and clearing that space out of my soul, of the burden that I had been carrying. And as I did, and I grew, and as I got more clarity and I started to heal, it became really, really clear to me that I had actually had a lot of negativity thrown on me by my family. And so let's just stop right there. When you take your divinity, your sovereignty, your Christ consciousness journey, your ascension journey seriously, nothing else nothing else trumps that. Like that is the most important thing, because you work so hard to obtain, to break through those shadows, to clear out that blockage in your chakra system, to make headway to where you no longer feel defeated and beat down, but you are getting your power back. So you want to protect that, right? It's natural and it's understandable, and you have every right to feel that way. So you go through that and you have to come to a choice many, many times on who you're going to allow to be in your energy field, especially once you understand that your energy and protecting your power and your sovereignty is all about setting healthy boundaries. And so, yeah, you learn how to clear, or you get an energy healer like myself that can clear these blockages for you. But once you learn someone in your family has been the one throwing them at you their whole life, are you going to continue to allow that? We have to take inventory of our life multiple times in our life, and I don't mean that on just a physical form of like decluttering and like spring cleaning and that kind of stuff, because that's important too. That's one aspect of this. But you have to take inventory of who you're giving your power to and who you're allowing to come in and corrupt your power. And oftentimes, it is the people closest to us. So it can be a spouse, it can be siblings, it can be parents, it can be children. And it is utterly heartbreaking to know that. Now, that's where you have your free will choice, okay? You get to choose if you want to continue to go down that path, and you are the only one doing the work of clearing and cutting and healing And then you go back around these people, or you stay in communion with these people, you stay in contact with them, and you don't set a boundary, and they keep attacking you all the time. That could be your choice, because it's not confrontational. No one's calling them on their actions, and it's easier, air quotes. But you could also choose, like I did, that I worked too dang hard to get to where I am, and I've gone through too much in my life to just keep letting other people take advantage of me and my power. That if I don't find my power, my frequency, my energy field, my divinity, my spirituality, and my connection to source important enough to protect, and why should anybody else find it important? So as you go through the ascension, it is a journey full of hills and valleys. Sometimes you're on the top of the peak, taking in some much needed deep breaths. Sometimes you're at the bottom of the valley, fighting to find your way back up to the top. But it is worth it. Every single day that you make free will choices in alignment with Source Creator, and you clear out the clutter of your energy field, of your life, you are moving in a positive direction toward ascension, new earth, the golden age of miracles. You're opening yourself up to that. If all your energy field is full of is cords and attachments and etheric hooks and daggers and curses and blockages in throughout your chakra system, you are so burdened down with negative energy that it is very, very hard for you to vibrate higher. Ascension is not a place you go to on the map. Ascension is a frequency. You are not going to be able to attain that frequency until you are no longer every little nook and cranny of your etheric energy field full of negativity. We have to get rid of that. We have to clear that out. So it's real important that you look at the micro. When I ask people to look at the micro, I always put this background up of the water droplets on the blade of the grass. It's so easy to get overwhelmed because there's a lot of information that can overwhelm people about ascension and the spirituality journey and the truth about source, those things. But just take it into the micro. And all you're seeing is what right here, your energy field, your aura. And you've committed to loving yourself enough to do the work to clear your path to ascension. So you're doing the work. You're clearing out the attachments. You're cutting the cords. You're healing the attachments. You're understanding where that negative energy was coming from and going where your positive energy was going, and you cut that. Etherically, you have made that cut. You're going to have to also make some physical, in the matrix, in the 3D decisions to cut those attachments. Because if you don't, it's going to keep repeating itself. The easiest way to protect your energy field and all the work that you've done to clear it up and clean it up is to keep it clean and clear. You know, just like when you finally clear out that bedroom that you've been throwing all the stuff in. Easiest way to keep it from becoming a cluttered space again is to keep it clean. Well, that's very, very symbolic and very important. It works hand in hand in keeping your energy field clean and clear. When we don't know where the negative attacks are coming from, that's one situation. But when we know where it's coming from and we don't do anything about it, that again, that's your free will choice. That's you choosing to make it harder than it needs to. So that's what I mean when I say unapologetic boundaries. So you are unapologetic in maintaining your space. You are unapologetic about maintaining the work that you've done. Think of it this way. It's no different than if you spend all weekend getting your yard looking perfect. You've got the flower bed weeded, you've got everything in its place, everything's trimmed, no dirt on the sidewalk, the edges of the grass is clipped. Everything looks pristine. Are you going to say nothing to your kids when they come in with shovels and rakes and they start digging random holes in your yard, or they go through your flowers and they trample all your flowers? Are you going to not say anything about that? So you may be that type of person where you just take and take and take and take. That's a shadow. That's some stuff you have to work on. But when you get to the point where you're clean and you're clear and you've got a good flow of energy and you have recovered your lost and stolen energy and your soul is being put back together fractal by fractal by fractal, and you got your power back, it's going to be impossible to be that person anymore. Your sovereignty, your gnosis, your power given by Source Creator is going to enable you to stand up for yourself, to love yourself enough to be unapologetic in decluttering your space, in taking inventory of what serves you and what is serving in alignment with Source and what is not. And it's that simple. So you're going to go through your small circle and then your extended circle and your friends on Facebook or Twitter or wherever you spend your time, work, whatever it is, church. And you're going to ask the questions. Is this person sending me negative energy attack? And your higher self's going to tell you, yes, they are, or no, they're not. Your higher self doesn't have an agenda. Your higher self doesn't have a personality. Your higher self is literally there in your highest and best good as a information filter gateway from Source Creator to you, and vice versa. So when you then get that information, you have another free will choice to make. Do I continue to allow them to do that unchecked or not? Every time you make decisions in your highest and best good, you jump to the next highest and best timeline that you can be on. That is the evolution of ascension. So I know some of the terms that I speak of or that you may hear thrown around gets a little convoluted, but I really wanted to clear that up because it's super important. If you haven't been energetically cleared and you grew up on Earth and you're working hard to ascend and you're working hard to clear your shadows and all that kind of stuff, we really want to help clear the blockages, cut the cords, heal the attachments, and clear out your energy field. And that can actually be done pretty easily. I've been trained by Mother Sophia, and that energy work is done. I do that every day. And you can find me in my Telegram group. Come to Helium Disclosures in Telegram, make a post that you know what you're there for, and that way I don't miss it, that you came in, and I'll be happy to go through this. You can also ask questions in there. It's a totally safe space. You can ask questions of people that have been healed already. You can ask questions of people that are working through their shadow work. You can ask questions of people that have been on the journey for a while, that have just started the journey. It's just a good environment where you don't get, you really do get welcomed in, and it's a loving and compassionate and kind space to explore this journey. I hope that helped clear up some things for you, and that you feel more empowered and less confused about starting and getting serious about your ascension journey, because it is a decision for you to make. It is work that you have to do. The payoff is definitely worth the effort. And we are all right there to help support you in that journey. Thank you for joining me again today on Healing Disclosures, and I look forward to seeing you next time.